it says it's live now.
Okay.
It doesn't show that anyone is there, but it shows that you're live.
Radhe Radhe? It says it's live again. Okay.
Excuse us, we don't know what's going on with the internet here. I see Karuna, Doyle Hari, Gopalji. More are coming. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Nandini, they're there. We don't know what's going on. Sorry. Please bear with us.
Maybe it was from the weather yesterday. It was pretty intense weather. The wind knocked things around.
Okay.
I'll just keep this on.
Usually it stays.
Yeah, it shuts off if it just goes off because it's not doing anything.
Okay.
It's an iPhone.
What?
Okay. We're live again. Okay, we're live. I think Thakurji's cut off a little.
Sorry about that. In the middle of the Guru Bhajan. To Vaishnava. Sakala Vaishnava Goshai.
Page 46 and
46 in this book.
And it starts with S-A-K-A-L-A.
And it's also in the app, Gaudiya Kirtan app.
Not too long.
Shri Rupa Manjari Pada, Say Mora Sampada, Say More Bhajan Pujan, page 50. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada starts with S-R-I. Shri.
Shri Rupa.
R-U-P-A. Rupa.
1 minute for them to get.
What's
Thank you, Jiva Pavana. He put it up.
Thank you. Short tune.
An easy tune. Something we can all sing easily. Sure.
Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Roy. Page 60. Patipavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai.
A-K, did you spell it?
A-K-R-O-D-H-A. Akrodha. Age. Starts with Sakhe, S-A-K-H-E. The name of the song is Sri Gurudev Spoke. Page 340. 340. Shri Sachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Sakhe Kalaya Goram Daram. Sakhe Sakhe This includes Krishna, Radhe, Madhava, Damodar, Rati.
Together.
Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Madhava begin calling out Harinam, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, I just wanted to share one thing. Many years ago, maybe it was 1998 or 1999, we were in Sri Keshavji Gauriya Math in Mathura with our Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And the brahmachari who was leading Kirtan was leading the bhajan, which is saying Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. And we know the last part says Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. But he's saying instead Shri Rupa Sanatana Varnita Charite. And afterward our Gurudev became quite strong. He said, why are you changing the words of Rupa Goswami? Do you think you know better than Rupa Goswami? Rupa Goswami is our everything. He has given us everything. You don't understand why he has given this. We don't have the right to change the words of Rupa Goswami. So our Gurudev explained why Rupa Goswami added this Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charita. Of course we know that Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami are always glorifying Srimati Radhika. But the point of Rupa Goswami writing this is that those personalities, Sanaka, Sanandan, Sanat and Sanat Kumar, these four Kumaras, who are so strong, they are so powerful that they have kept themselves eternally in the form of 5-year-old boys so that lust cannot touch them. Who can say that lust won't touch them in this world? It's practically impossible. But Gurudev was explaining that these four are so powerful that they have contained themselves in the forms of 5-year-old boys so that lust won't touch them. And even these personalities are always glorifying Srimati Radhika. Because Srimati Radhika and her relationship with Krishna has nothing to do with the mundane lust of this world. It is transcendental, aprakrita, calm, transcendental love, prema. And so even all of these best of the yogis, best of the brahmacharis are all glorifying Srimati Radhika. So Gurudev gave the instruction quite strongly at this time. Don't change the words of Rupa Goswami. These days it's quite popular, everyone, almost everywhere that I've seen who are chanting this bhajan, they say Shri Rupa Sanatana Varnita Charite, but I was there in front of Gurudev when he expressed displeasure at that, and so from that time I have not chanted it like that. Although we know that Rupa and Sanatan Goswamis are always glorifying Srimati Radhika, who am I to change the words of my Rupanuga Guru Varga, of the Acharyas? They have given it for specific reason, specific purpose. So I just wanted to share that with you because it was very powerful for me, what he said and the lesson that he gave also with that. So I know so many do it. It's not necessarily wrong, but we should make sure to chant what Rupa Goswami gave first. If afterward you want to tag something on, you can do it, but it's not necessary. Gurudev expressed his position on that. So I just wanted to share that. So, I don't know what time everyone is in the world, but for us, it's 6:20 p.m. So it is time for this.
Krishna
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Nityanamine Nama Vishnupadaya Krishna Parishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Rangayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Astottara Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta, Narayan Goswami Maharaja. And the same unto the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishnupad, Astottara Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. To our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas, past, present, and future, and all of you who are watching, who are participating with us on Facebook Live, who are in lockdown in your homes, my Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
So we received a question today relating to certain things that we read yesterday and the day before, and that we were speaking about in terms of the mercy of the pure devotee or the mercy of Krishna. Sometimes we find that the mercy of the Lord, like Nityananda Prabhu, or the mercy of Guru may be quite harsh. So the question was, does Guru ever give such harsh mercy that breaks someone's enthusiasm or inspiration in bhakti? Does it ever go to that point? Or do they understand the level or the depth of one's dedication and give their harsh mercy accordingly? So, in order to answer this question, first, I must acknowledge Guru Tattva. What is the essence of Guru? What is Guru? Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur very clearly elaborates in his first verse of Sri Guru Vashtakam. Sansara davana lalibhaloka pranaya karunya ghanaghanatvam raptasya kalyana gunarnavasya vande guru Shri Charanarvindam. The blazing forest fire of material existence is consuming all of us. Material existence means samsara, repetition of birth, disease, old age, and death. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, in his commentaries relating to this verse, has said that this material world is like a blazing forest fire, and we are all like animals in this jungle. And that blazing forest fire is coming from all sides to get us, as we can see these days. Some people believe it's a virus. Some people believe it's 5G. Some people believe it's demons. Some people believe it's injections. Some people believe it's gates. Some people believe it's so many things. In every single case, though, something is out to get us, and it's coming for us. So, in essence, there's that fear which is coming. It's coming from all sides. So, the conditioned souls who are trapped in that blazing forest fire, the forest fire of assured death, coming one way or another toward us. Those conditioned souls who are crying out, pitifully petitioning the Lord in deep anguish, the Lord will hear their prayers. And our prayers are answered in the form of the Lord's mercy. Krishna is compared to an ocean, an endless ocean of mercy. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindho. Karuna Sindho means an ocean of mercy. That ocean of mercy, how does that ocean of mercy come to us on the land who are trapped in this forest fire? That ocean of mercy condenses into a very heavy, thick cloud. Ghana Ghanatvam. And that cloud can go anywhere and pour down that rain of mercy and extinguish that forest fire. That cloud is compared to Sri Guru. Sri Guru has another name, Krishna Kripa Sri Murti, or the form of the mercy of Krishna. So when Krishna's compassion and mercy condenses and takes a form for the purpose of relieving the burning suffering of the jivas of this world, that form is known as Sri Guru. In essence, they are made of compassion, they are made of mercy, and they cannot help themselves but to feel compassion and be merciful. That is their nature, essentially. So, how do they give their mercy? They give their mercy by helping any jiva to somehow come out of samsara. And how is that? By giving them the recipe or the solution for all problems. And that is Shri Harinam Sankirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And all of those activities which increase our attraction to serve Krishna, which is really the nature of every jiva. What is Mahaprabhu tell Rupa Goswami? Hey Rupe, Brahmanda Brahmite Kon Bhagyamana Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. That the jivas are wandering throughout the material universes, from place to place, body to body, experiencing the endless cycle of repeated birth and death, as Krishna tells Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam, means it is full of birth, disease, old age, and death and suffering. And then he says, Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punar Avarti Norjuna. From the highest planet in the material world, Brahmalok, down to the lowest, all are places of misery. That is the nature of this material world. There is a function and a purpose for it. In Jayadharma chapter 16, very clearly it is explained that it is made, in essence, eternally, for the purpose of the Lord to give His mercy. Because He has this function called Kripa or Karunya. It needs a place to go. We, in essence, are the capable recipients of His mercy. We require it, we need it. He has this tendency to give it. So how do we serve Him and how do we please Him? By accepting the mercy He wants to give. That mercy comes in a form. That form is Sri Guru. By holding on to the lotus feet of Sri Guru. Sri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakati Sarma, Bando Mui Sabdhan Mate, Jahara Prasade Bhai, E Bhavatoriya Jai, Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoite. The only way to attain or to awaken our bhakti, means our love and devotion for Krishna, is by holding tightly to the lotus feet of Sri Guru. Sri Guru means that Guru who is endowed with Shri. Srila Gurudeva Maharaja explained this. Shri means Srimati Radhika, who is carrying her mood of love and affection and service to Krishna, and who will awaken that within us. So, this is the nature of Sri Guru. When he gives Bhakti Lata Bij, Bhakti Lata Bij is another word for his association, sadhu sangha. It's not like he's handing you a mustard seed or some seed that's supposed to sprout. By his association, by that sangha, this is Bhakti Lata Bij, or the seed of the awakening of bhakti. This is sadhu sangha. by that, what manifests? Krishna Seva Vasanam, the tendency or the nature to serve Krishna. The Seva Vritti, or the tendency to serve Krishna, gradually becomes awakened, starting with Shraddha, then Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, and eventually manifesting into Prem. So I needed to establish this first. The nature of Guru is that Guru is the condensed form of the compassion and mercy of Krishna. So there is nothing that a real Guru can do. Mind you, I'm making a distinction here. There's real Guru and there's everything else. There might be persons who are like Ravanas, who are posing as Guru, as Ravan posed as a sadhu. And their nature and function is to steal your faith and your money and your wife and your car and your bank account, and they leave you with nothing. This is not Guru. Real Guru does not commit violence to the jivas. They are merciful to the jivas because their hearts bleed, it is said, upon seeing the suffering of the jivas. So how can they take the jiva and push him away or her away from the path of bhakti, which is the only thing which is merciful to the jiva? This is diametrically opposed to the definition of Guru. It's completely opposite to the definition of Guru. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada explained that there are two kinds of violence to the jiva. It's not murdering someone. It's not unleashing viruses on the world. It's not injecting people. This is not violence to the jivas. There's two violences to the jivas. One, the first violence to the jiva is to have all kinds of knowledge of Krishna, of what is beneficial for that jiva, what will make that jiva happy forever, and to not share it with them. In other words, I have the cure for all diseases. I have the cure for your blazing forest fire of material existence which you have been undergoing since time without beginning, and I am failing to share it with you. Then I am complicit in your burning. Right? Sri Ramachandra said, because his father failed to speak out when Kaikeyi said you should go to the forest for 14 years and Bharat should be crowned instead. What does Sri Ram say? My father did not stop her. He didn't go against what she said. Therefore, I accept that he was complicit in her order because of his silence. So our silence or lack of telling people about the greatest wealth, the greatest treasure, the cure for all diseases that we have received, this is called, if we do not share it, it is called violence to the jivas. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada explained this. And the second kind of violence to the jivas, which is even more direct, is to actively encourage someone to contemplate anything other than what is favorable toward their development of their bhakti to Krishna. In other words, to engage our minds and our senses in meditating on anything which will not save us at the time of death. This is violence to the jiva, not to the body, to the jiva. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada mentioned these two kinds of violence, and a real guru could never engage in any activity which would bring these kinds of violences to the jiva. So when guru is heavy-handed or intense with the disciple, like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, the only duty of the sadhu is to stand with the upraised sword. All of the sensuous desires of conditioned souls are like so many sacrificial goats, and that sadhu is there with the sword at the sacrificial altar to cut the heads of all of those sensuous desires which are binding us in this world. So it seems harsh. What is that sword? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, it is the harsh language of the sadhu. Means cutting at our material attachments, our material attractions, and our material desires, with strong language. These days, so many people, they say, oh, I don't like this isn't right, it doesn't seem to be the way, no one has the right to chastise anyone. But this is not the version of our acharyas. Srila Gurudev Maharaj once, he was saying, you are so dense. We have become so ignorant and so covered by the material energy that our intelligence and our ability to grasp spiritual knowledge is more dense than a brick. We've been doing it for billions and trillions of lifetimes and we still haven't understood. He said the thunderbolt of Indra is not enough to wake you. You require many thunderbolts of Indra and still you will not wake up. That is why he gave such strong words. But those words, those harsh words, are the words of love and affection. It's hard to understand, but I will give one simple example. If a child is running into a street and cars are flying by, and the mother or father runs after that child and jumps on them. First they're screaming at them, no, don't. The child's like, why are you screaming at me? Don't you know I'm having fun? And the parents are screaming. It sounds from the external like it's harsh, but actually it's only love and affection. They don't want to see that child, their own child, whom they love with all of their heart, get hurt or killed. So first they're screaming, and the child is not listening. He's laughing, running, having fun, and then he starts to run out in the street. What will the parent do? Any parent will understand this. You will run and jump on that child and tackle him and stop him from running into the street where he may get severely injured or even killed. And in the process, the child might get a bruise, might get hurt a little bit, might cry a little bit, but you've saved his life and he might not even realize that. But it is only out of the infinite compassion of his parents who are trying to save him. In the same way, Sri Guru is running after us. We think we're running after Guru, but we're not. Sri Guru is running after us. Please take what I'm trying to give you. Please take this. Do you want to add something, Sudevi?
I think it's a little late. You can start. Do you want me to add something?
I would like to, yeah.
Anything particular?
Yes, please take this. I'm trying to give you.
As he was speaking, I was remembering our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And I remember that we came here on parikrama. And in the middle of the parikrama, he started to say, so many are coming to me. And they are asking, will you arrange my marriage with this one? Will you do this? Will you do that? Will you bless me for this material thing, for that material thing? And Gurudev said, you are coming to me and you are asking me to give you poison. How can I do? How can I do? He said, it's better that you go out to the bazaar, you get that poison and you drink it yourself, but don't ask me. I cannot give it. Guru is so merciful. Srila Gurudev Maharaj says that only the Guru, only the Acharya, only the Vaisnavas, their hearts bleed when they see our suffering. Yesterday, Kishori Mohan Prabhu spoke something about Haridas Thakur being beaten in 22 marketplaces. And yet he was praying for those who were beating him. We heard a few days ago how Lord Jesus Christ was nailed to the cross and he's begging, please forgive them, they don't know what they do. This is the mood of Guru, of Vaishnavas. It is never to make us run away from them. Once we went to my Gurudev, and it was after a year of traveling. And you traveled a lot, you get very tired. It's very blissful, very wonderful. But at the end of the day, all I cared about was finally coming and seeing Gurudev at whatever festival we could see him at. So we came and we saw him, I think it was at Govardhan, and we had our donation from traveling and preaching, and it wasn't anything in particular, it was just, here, this is what we have. And I had it in a bag, and he opened the bag, and then he took the money out and put it under his pillow, and he threw the bag back to me and said, "Fill it." And that was the end of the darshan. And I was so shocked. I was like, oh my God. He didn't say anything like, "I'm so pleased with you, my darling daughter," anything. He didn't tell me how proud he was of me or anything. Nothing. And I was so upset, and I left the room, and I was like, how could he do that to me? And then Vaijanti Mala Didi, she came into our room for some extraordinary reason to visit with us. And I was telling her, can you believe it? Gurudev did this. And she repeated something that she had heard, and she said, just imagine this, that Gurudev is sitting there, and he's transcribing and writing all day long. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the day, when he's finished, he starts to massage and pet his own hand and begins to say, "Oh, my darling, sweet hand, I'm so proud of you. How much work you've done. I'm so pleased with you. You are my favorite hand." She said, "How would that look?" And I said, "It would look embarrassing." And she said, "Well, you should feel like that if Gurudev begins to stroke your ego. You should see that you are just the hand of Gurudev." And as soon as that conception came to me, and I was sort of slapped with the idea of humility, of surrendering to not getting glorified by my Gurudev, but trying to please my Gurudev in any way. It changed my heart, it changed my mind, and my circumstance became different. I was so proud that he didn't stroke my ego. I felt that I was one of his hands, and I felt so pleased and so happy. And then a week later, Gurudev said, "Come to my room, I want to speak with you." And we had a beautiful darshan with him. So that was my lesson. I could have run away, left parikrama. How could he be like that? He only wanted money. What was it, like, $500? Nothing. No. Sometimes it's our egos, actually, all the time. It's our false ego that stops us from being able to accept the mercy of Sri Guru. Our Gurudev used to famously say, "I can bitterly beat my brahmacharis." Like Sripad Ban Maharaj, Sripad Madhav Maharaj, when they were young, he said, "I could beat them because I know that they would never leave me. But you, if I say any harsh word, you will run away. Oh, Narayan Maharaj, I don't like him. He's so mean." He said, "So I have to be so careful with you." So the main thing that we should understand when we hear really heavy topics or chastisements, if you go to the disciples of Srila Govinda Goswami Maharaj, if you've sat with them and you hear how they took those lashings from him, whether he was calling out their anarthas publicly, whether he was hitting them with the cane, or whether he was using uncompromising language, they were feeling so much bliss. They would fight to be the ones to sit in front of him. And when he was off the Vyasasan, he was so meek, so humble, so soft and sweet. And they would open their hearts and they would pour themselves into his hands. "This is my sickness." And then publicly he would rip those anarthas out. "Oh, pornography! You are attracted to pornography!" Yelling in front of the whole temple. And those devotees knew that that kind of chastisement would come to them. And they would willingly sit there, "Yes, Gurudev, help me. Remove this unwanted thing from my heart and replace it with your love and devotion to Krishna." Guru is always merciful. even when he kicks us, even if he yells at us, even if he sends us away, because he doesn't want to see us suffering, then go over there and drink that poison. And when you're done, you come back. I want to ask my Gurudev, he was speaking about one-pointed bhakti, and he was glorifying Srimati Radha Thakurani. And as he was speaking about her one-pointed nature toward Krishna, I was in awe. And after the class, I said, Srila Gurudev, does Krishna have this kind of one-pointed mood to Srimati Radhika? And Gurudev said, with a kind of scowl, he wants to, but he can't. And then he looked at me and he said, not even one jiva can he give up. Not even one jiva. And in that one moment, being this finite jiva, I thought, I count. There is something in me that Krishna wants and that he can't give me up. And he has sent me, my Gurudev, to bring me to him. So I have become a disciple. Means I have put myself under the discipline of my Gurudev. Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj says, if Guru wants to slap you, you can't take him to court. You have placed yourself voluntarily in that position to be a disciple. And Guru knows how hard to hit. He knows sometimes if someone needs their ego stroked so that they will stay. Oh, you are so good. You are my best disciple. Without you, how can I even speak? And that disciple comes and sits in front. It's me, and I'm here, and Gurudev is speaking only to me. Sometimes Gurudev will do that, just to keep those personalities close, so that he can teach them Trinadapi Sunichena. So that he can open their hearts and do surgery. It's like giving them some medicine, putting them under, like giving them drugs before surgery. The drug for one person might be to give them that ego padding, and the other might be to very chastise them. And then when they're in that condition, he goes inside and he gets to work in the heart of the disciple. And it may be quick and it may be slow. It may be lifetimes. Or as Srila Prabhupada says, in 1 second, 1 moment, if we surrender 1 moment, then we will attain that mercy. So it's not only on the Guru. So much time we put all of the pressure on the Guru. But actually it's on us, the disciples. Who is a real disciple? More rare than that kind of Sri Guru that he is speaking of is a disciple, a real, qualified, true disciple. And so we have entered into the school of learning to become disciples. And we should have faith that what Guru is giving to us is for our own good. I'll just tell one last thing because we have to hear from Sri going beyond Vaikuntha. But there was one time when we were here in Gopinath Bhavan and we had gone out and we were really, really tired. And we decided that we would just listen to Gurudev's Hari Katha from our room. There was the Pandal at the time, not the temple room. And we could hear Gurudev directly from the room we were staying in. And we just thought it was a 12-hour day, he'll understand, and we'll hear Hari Katha, no problem. So we heard the bhajans ended, and Gurudev started, and then we hear banging on the door. And it was Brajanath Prabhu, our Gurudev's secretary at the time. Gurudev is calling you, come down immediately. The 3 of us jumped up, ran downstairs into the Pandal. Kishori Mohan Prabhu went right up in front and sat down in front of Gurudev. One other Vaisnava who was with us sat up in the middle. And I hid quite far toward the back, hoping he wouldn't see me. And all of a sudden, Srila Gurudev said, "Where is Sudevi?" And all of my lovely friends said, "She's right here, Gurudev." Gurudev said, "Come here." No, he said, "Stand up." And so I stood up. And I thought, because Gurudev would say, I will punish you to different devotees, I'll make you stand up and pull your ears and stand up and sit down like doing squats. You can look on videos now. If people are going out of quarantine, the Indian police are making them do that. They actually do this. So I stood up and I thought, oh my God, in front of like 1,000 people, Gurudev's going to make me do squats and pull my ears. So I stood up ready to pull my ears. But when he said, stand up, he actually was calling me forward and he said, come here, obey me. And I heard everyone laughing, but I didn't care about anything in the world at that moment. I didn't care that I was being laughed at. I didn't care that I was some comic thing going on. All I wanted to do was to try to please my Gurudev. So I went to the front and I sat down and I looked up at him and he said, sing. And I looked at Kishori Mohan Prabhu and he said, Sake Kalaya Gora. And I said, okay. And he started to high for me. And I couldn't hit the notes and Gurudev was going, bah, like that. And I was just so ashamed. But what did it teach me? It taught me that first and foremost, sadhu sangha is the most important. Me being tired, this body being tired, it can rest when it's dead. When sadhu sangha is there, at any cost we run there and we drink their hari katha. If by chance we fall asleep in that class, I remember different devotees would pass out mints to each other. Take something, wake up, don't fall asleep. Gurudev would wake us up with Krishna Das doing kirtan. First and foremost, Gurudev taught, you sit down and you hear. I'm trying to save your life and you are trying to sleep. Sit down in front of me and call out to Krishna.
He said with all of your senses.
With all of your senses, give me everything. All these other things can be done at another time. You sit and you listen. So it taught me the importance of giving up what is so, I thought, necessary for my body, just to lie down in comfort. What was I thinking? Nowadays I can beat myself at the thought of doing something like that. If I even have a dream of Gurudev, in my dream, I know I'm dreaming and I'm saying, don't wake up, don't wake up, don't wake up, just keep looking at him, don't look away. And now I have so many regrets for those moments that I didn't run out every time I knew that he was there, present. Sometimes, oh, I have to cook first, then I'll run down, or this or that. What was I thinking? What was I doing? So we learn so much through the chastisement of Sri Guru. And as disciples, our duty is to search for what he is trying to teach us. Okay.
One question. Does this principle apply to our association with Vaishnavas also? Where harshness is only a mercy?
Generally, we are told that...
Re-ask the question out loud.
The question was, does this apply to general chastisement from general Vaishnava association?
To our association with Vaishnavas.
To be honest, yes, we should try, because where will we learn Trinadapi Shanichena? Where will we learn to be more humble, more tolerant, to give honor and respect to others? It's not just with Sri Guru, it's easy there. That's a given. We can bow down and take that chastisement, but from a God family member is much more difficult. But our Guru Varga have told us to be very, very careful when we are in a position of chastising or being chastised. If we are trying to say something to someone and we don't have affection for them or relationship with them, or they're not inquisitive to hear something, then we can actually send that person away, or we can make offense. So it can go both ways. Also, when senior Vaishnavas who are following the principles of bhakti and who are in line and teaching us what our Guru Varga is giving us, then yes, we should. And if we see that they are not following in line and they are not following our Guru Varga, then we can offer our pranam and try not to yell back at them, try not to have an attitude, which I could admit for me is very difficult. It's very hard when you see something like that. But our Gurudev has taught us that it is in the Vaishnava association of those who are like-minded that we will learn these beautiful jewels of humility and tolerance and patience, and how to give honor to others and how to serve others, how to try to think of someone else before myself. With Gurudev it's easy. With our God family it's difficult, and that is the place where we will learn so much. Well, both are, but we will learn our individual sicknesses when we are amongst our peers. I hope that helps a little bit.
In this connection, there's one beautiful pastime. Well, some might not understand it in the beginning, how beautiful it is. But there is one disciple, follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His name is Mukunda. And he was going from place to place. Wherever he would go, he would hear. And he would embrace the conceptions of the new place. The person who was speaking on any subject, he would say, oh yes, okay, so he would embrace the Mayabad conceptions and this conceptions and that conception. So many different conceptions. And Mahaprabhu was not pleased with it. So Mahaprabhu said, I don't want to see him. I reject him. And so when Mukunda wanted to enter into Srivasangam or any place where Mahaprabhu was like, no, I don't want to see him. I reject him. And so he was only remaining there outside, weeping and crying, when will I receive the darshan of Mahaprabhu? He had this mood. When will I receive the darshan of Mahaprabhu? And the devotees were even petitioning on his behalf. And I've seen this before. Sometimes the Lord or even a Guru will say, if you're petitioning on their behalf, then you can all be with him and I will go away. This is very strong. What we call in English tough love. Tough love is given to someone to shape them up, to bring them to the proper position. So then finally the question came, please ask Mahaprabhu how long it will be before I can receive his darshan. So one devotee went on his behalf and asked this question to Mahaprabhu. He just wants to know how long it will be until you receive his darshan. Mahaprabhu was told, you tell him that not for 1,000,000 births. So they went outside and they told him. Mahaprabhu said, you cannot see him for 1,000,000 births. What did Mukunda do? He didn't get all depressed and walk away with his head down. He began dancing, laughing, crying. All transcendental ecstasy was manifesting on his body. There is an end. There is an end. One sweet day, I have his guarantee. I will have his darshan. This created such an enthusiasm in his heart that the millions of lifetimes of separation immediately made it only one moment. He burnt off millions of lifetimes of separation by that kind of intense enthusiasm. So Mahaprabhu gave this as a personal example.
I just wanted to also ask that in response to the question about Vaishnava association, also general like us, that we should always be humble to the truth, not just to anything that anyone says. Guru speaks the truth always.
Yes.
I just want, because I don't have time to clarify anything.
So we will continue with that point. Sometimes Sri Guru rejects externally, so that that disciple, and it is a rejection knowing the capacity of that disciple. That I reject you, I don't want to see you. What should that inspire within the heart of a disciple? Anything but that. Please be merciful to me. That disciple should fall at the feet of that Guru and beg forgiveness. If that Guru is actually a real Guru. If he said, I'm so displeased with what you've done, I don't want to see you. That should change the heart of that person. But even if there is an external rejection, we know that Chaitya Guru, or the Guru within the heart, has always resided with the soul since time without beginning and has never left us until now and will never leave us. So externally, this same Chaitya Guru manifests as Diksha and Shiksha Gurus. And they might give some harsh chastisement. And it might appear that there's an external rejection. But that external rejection is only function is how to bring that disciple to the point of sincerity and submission for his own benefit so that he can attain the highest goal. So that he will be happy forever. Otherwise, he's only binding himself in samsara and suffering. So sometimes Guru makes a little bit of a harsh example. I'll give a personal example. Many, many years ago, my wife and I, we had a very big fight. This was in 1996. And it was very intense. And basically, the kind of words that were coming out were like, I don't need you, I'm fine on my own, you know, that kind of stuff. Many people may have had these kind of experiences in their life. And I had the key to the hotel, I had the money belt, the passports, all the money. I knew the name of the hotel and where it was. We were in India at the time, in Delhi. But we were having this kind of argument and fight. I said, sure, okay, fine. And I walked away.
No, I walked away.
She walked away. But I also walked away. We walked away from each other. But I knew it's not safe at that time. She was like 24 or something. Beautiful young blonde girl standing alone in the street in Connaught Place, you know. And I knew it's not safe. So I only went as far as the nearest tree, and I stood behind the tree and I just waited. But I was watching from a distance. I didn't go away. I was watching. And sure enough, like so many sharks, they started coming around one after another. Hello, madam. Hello, beautiful eyes, madam ji. Kya baat hai? They were coming around one after another. And I saw her looking a little bit concerned. And at a certain point, then I just went back and I said, let's go. So, in the sense...
I pulled out my karate chops.
That's a different story. I'm trying to make the point here. Sometimes Guru lets us out on a leash. Okay, you go. But you're going to be in a situation which is difficult. And at that time, when you are calling for help, then I will come for you. I'll be there. So we should not see the rejection of Guru as something which is against bhakti. Really, Guru never leaves us. Our Gurudev has said, even if any of my disciples will go to hell, I will personally go there and pull them out by their hair. That kind of intense mamata Guru has for the disciple. Our Gurudev has famously said that Gurudev is more than millions of mothers of this world. And I am closer to you than the air you breathe. Another name for Guru is Atma Bandhu, or the best friend of the soul. So if any of you are mothers or fathers, imagine the affection you have for your child. And if there was even if they were like disappointing you, but they were really seriously in trouble, imagine the affection, what you would do for them to help them. Now multiply that by millions. Guru is more than millions of mothers of this world. How can Guru do anything which is unfavorable for that disciple? It's impossible. Impossible. And coming back to this point from the question, Sudevi wanted to clarify that with Vaishnavas, of course, we should understand Vaishnavas according to their levels, as Rupa Goswami has said. Krishneti yasigritam manasadriyeta, in the 5th verse of Upadeshamrita, that we should respect Vaishnavas according to their respective levels. So for Kanishta Vaishnava, if they're giving some difficulty or there's some problem, we should understand the nature of the conversation. Is that conversation is what they're complaining about, let's say, or what they're criticizing us for? Is it going to help me and be favorable for me to progress in my bhakti? Or are they complaining that I'm not spending enough time with them watching Netflix or whatever? Right? There's somebody who's a devotee, they're a Vaishnava, they're chanting, but maybe they're making a complaint or a criticism which is to distract me from bhakti. So we need to look at it from a fuller perspective. Not all Vaishnavas are on the same level, and we need to see, is this favorable for my bhakti or not? Is this going to help me to hold more tightly to the lotus feet of my Gurudev and his instructions or not? It's not all one in terms of that. But in terms of guru-disciple relationship, if that guru is actually a real guru who fulfills all of the functions or all of the definitions of guru as given by Shastra, then the duty of the disciple is to completely submit and surrender. Ado Guru Parashray. First of all, take shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Guru. And to the extent that those Vaishnavas help us to do that, then we accept that association. But if we're just to give equal preference to everyone, we could get ourselves into a very dangerous situation. Because not all Vaishnavas are always, especially Kanishta, in a state of purity. Kanishta Vaishnava means I have honor and respect for my Guru, I have faith in my Guru and faith in the deity, but I don't know how to honor other Vaishnavas properly. And most of us, if we search ourselves, at least myself, I look, wow, Kanishta, that's actually quite high. Firm faith in Guru and Thakurji? I don't know if I have that. Do I have that much? I know that I don't respect all Vaishnavas properly, but we can look at ourselves. Check our pulses and see, am I even coming to the platform of Kanishta Vaishnava? What to speak of Madhyam or Uttam? And then from there we need to petition those who are superior, the senior Vaishnavas. Who senior Vaishnava means according to the depth of bhakti. We can give respect according to age, we can give respect according to when someone was initiated, but really it's about the depth of one's focus, devotion and bhakti to Krishna. This is the real qualification as explained in all Shastras. And then from there, we can move forward on the path of bhakti. We should give proper respect and honor according to all of these. I'm going to use the word material designations. That is also proper. But the main thing is bhakti. And if someone fulfills all of those things and bhakti, then great. So following the path of bhakti, that is the main thing. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj says, we don't follow or we don't accept that thing from the dead source. We're looking for that living force. Where is that enthusiasm? Where is that bhakti alive? And we should drink from that place where bhakti is alive and flowing and living and awakening in others' hearts, where that can also awaken in my heart by that association. Anything else, Sudevi, to add?
Yeah, but we only have 10 minutes.
10 minutes. It was a very important question and it is pertinent for us. So, 10 minutes. First and foremost, I will offer the prayer of Raghunath Das Goswami to Sri Sanatan Goswami, Vairagya Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatna Apayanan Mam Anubhipshamandam Kripam Budirya Paraduk Duki Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami. There it says Kripam Budirya Paraduk Duki. Seeing my intense suffering, he gives me his mercy. This is the nature of the real guru, the real devotee. And he gives him vairagya, means he awakens attraction for Krishna in his heart, by which everything else becomes insignificant. And praying to the lotus feet of our Gurudev, the commentator, that may their bhavs, may even a drop of their moods manifest in our hearts. So Gurudev was saying the other day that most people, or many people, want to experience all of the many worlds themselves. They want to reverse engineer, start from scratch and do it all on their own. But this is not the process that is recommended. Actually, perfection has already been attained. The roads have already been chalked out by our Mahajans. So our Shastras say, Mahajano yena gata sapanta, that we should follow the paths which have been chalked out by the Mahajans. And it's not only the path that they've given, but they are coming to guide us along those paths. They've come to guide us personally in the form of Guru and Vaisnava. That you follow this path, it is already clear. It is free from the thorns and the broken glass and the hypodermic needles and whatever else that are on the path of this material world. This path is clear and free. Just follow that path. It's already done. You don't need to try to develop something from scratch. They've already attained perfection. They've already gone through all of that. So Sri Sanatan Goswami has manifested in Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita the entire journey of Gopakumar. From beginning to end. For what purpose? So that we don't have to figure it out on our own. He's delivering it to us. He's already giving it to us. This is what you will do if you don't follow the path that I'm giving you. This is how long it can take you. Trillions and trillions of years. Which is like hell from the perspective of a Vaishnava without being able to actually engage in the loving service of Krishna. So Gurudev said that he took us, Sanatana Goswami took us through all of those worlds until we finally arrived in Goloka Vrindavan by revealing this story of Gopakumar. But we must not think that Sanatana Goswami has merely composed a fictitious novel describing Gopakumar's extensive journey. Sometimes people will say, hey, this is fiction. But the pure devotee doesn't give fiction. The pure devotee is witnessing the divine pastimes of Krishna. Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj explained that sometimes as a pure devotee is describing the pastimes of Krishna, they might reveal some little part of that pastime which we have not heard before. Like we've heard our Gurudev say.
I was going to say, go ahead.
We've heard our Gurudev say, it has not been told before, but anyhow I will tell. Sometimes a little thing is added.
Or like when Srila Bhakti Govinda Maharaj, he told her why Mother Yashoda was so angry at Krishna for that one pot that he broke.
Right. So Srila Bhakti Govinda Maharaj gave the example of why Mother Yashoda was so upset with Krishna for the one pot he broke. That pot was no ordinary pot. It was an heirloom. It had been handed down from generation through generation, I think 5 generations of mother-in-laws. And it was the best pot for making the best quality yogurt and butter for pleasing Krishna. And because it was that best pot, it was serving Krishna. When Krishna broke that pot, which was the best serving pot for Krishna, she became upset and angry. This was one little thing. And another thing, he said that Krishna had smeared butter on his arms. Like thieves in the past, they used to smear oil on their arms. If any policeman tried to catch them, we tested it. After he said that, we tested it. I put oil on my arms and I said, Sudevi, grab! And instantly I was able to escape. So he said that Krishna smeared butter on his arms, knowing that Mother Yashoda would try to catch him, just in case. So little details like this. Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj explained that as the pure Vaishnava is speaking the pastimes of Krishna, they're witnessing the Nitya Lila of Krishna, but Krishna's pastimes are going on simultaneously in millions of universes. As Srila Prabhupada said, in the first second in the first universe, Krishna's pastimes begin, the second in the second universe, the third in the third, like this. So millions of universes and millions of pastimes of Krishna going on. And they're not all exactly the same thing. What we've received in Srimad Bhagavatam, of course, this is an idea. But Krishna's pastimes are unlimited, and there's unlimited variety within each pastime. There's the basic foundational structure, but then within that basic foundational structure, like music, you've got 12 notes, and then you've got the same 12 notes, but the octave above. But how many unlimited songs have been made in those 12 notes? And it's still being made. But to speak of Krishna's pastimes, we cannot limit his pastimes. So as the pure devotee is giving Harikatha and speaking about Krishna, they may be witnessing his pastime in this universe, And then, in that universe, because Tam Sarva Bhuta Hridayam Munimanatosmi. What does Sri Shaunaka tell about Shukadev Goswami? I see that my Gurudev is situated within the heart of every living entity. It means he's everywhere. He's witnessing all of the pastimes of Krishna all at the same time in all of their divine variety. And he's able to pull from any pastime at any place. And so sometimes there's some variation. Oh, this is there in Damodar Lila. I never heard that before. But because he's a pure devotee, he's connected to Krishna and love and affection, he's witnessing that pastime and revealing it. That is Shastra, the revelation, revealing of the pastimes that they are witnessing. So here, Sanatan Goswami has not merely composed a fictitious novel describing Gopakumar's extensive journey. This book contains a wide variety of siddhanta with very deep meaning. For example, some people think that the main reason Krishna comes to this world is to relieve the earth's burden. Like Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya in Bhagavad Gita, why I come from time to time. Sambhavami yuge yuge, I manifest from yuga to yuga to annihilate the demons and to help the devotees, to re-establish dharma and to remove adharma. These days, people are saying there's so many demons. Krishna has appeared already for the purpose of eradicating these demonic tendencies. In a very special form, Sri Shachinandan Gaurahari, and he has brought his ashtra, Sangha Upanga Ashtra Parshadam. What is that ashtra? Harinam Sankirtan. Already Krishna is here, the weapon is here to completely annihilate all of these demonic things which are supposedly going on in this world. That is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when devotees are saying, stand and fight, what does it mean? It means,
get your wampers out.
Get your wampers out. Shanka baje, ghanta baje, baje karatal, madhura mridanga baje, paramarasal. Glorify Krishna, his names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. Chant the names of Krishna loudly everywhere. Even if you're just in your own home, that vibration will continue everywhere. Vibrational energy does not stop. It is the ultimate anti-pollution to purify the environment.
Yes.
The weapon is already here. The method is already here. The cure is already here. Bhaktivedanta Thakur has given his assurances. Mahaprabhu has given his assurances. If we have faith in Krishna and faith in Mahaprabhu, we will accept that process, which is the process Mahaprabhu has given, Sankirtan. That is the way to please the Lord, and if one pleases the Lord, then automatically everything is pacified and pleased. Those who are intelligent, yajantihi sumedhasa, will take to that process, which the Lord Sri Shachinandan Gaurahari has given to us. So here, some people think that the main reason Krishna came to this world is to relieve the earth's burden. But think about it. Millions of universes are manifesting from Vishnu, which is the incarnation of 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 Krishna. 5 times, right? Krishna to Baladev. He's Mool Sankarshan, Sankarshan, Vasudev, Pradumna, Aniruddha, Sankarshan, then Mahavishnu, then that's Karunadakshaya Vishnu, then Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, then Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So Mahavishnu, he is lying in cosmic sleep, breathing out unlimited universes, and as he inhales, they all compact within him again. He can kill millions of demons without even thinking, without batting an eyelid, just by breathing. Just naturally, doesn't need to think about that. So why does he manifest in this world? He doesn't need to come here to kill demons. Unlimited demons with one eyelash. Like that. Millions, unlimited demons. No problem. Why does he manifest? Really? It's to please his devotees. Anugrahaya bhaktanam. For the pleasure of his devotees, because They love to speak about Krishna. They love to have darshan of Krishna. It is pleasing to his devotees. Matchita madgata pranabodayanta parasparam katayantaschamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Because they are experiencing ever renewed pleasure and happiness, remembering his names, forms, qualities, and pastimes. So he manifests his beautiful pastimes, shows his form, reveals his names and his qualities, so that his devotees will have so many things to discuss. For his devotees, for their pleasure, he manifests in this earth, and especially to broadcast to the world the prem of the gopis and to taste it himself. That's why he comes to this world. Not only for killing demons, but really to please the devotees and to give all jivas the opportunity to awaken their inherent love for him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would accomplish many purposes by one activity. He would perform one activity, but from that, 5 people would be instructed, and 5 separate objectives would be achieved. In the same spirit, Sanatan Goswami has presented the Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So, Sri Sanatan Goswami ki jai, Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita ki jai, Sri going Beyond Vaikuntha ki jai, Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. So we will continue tomorrow. Thank you. We did that the other day?
Yeah.
Oh. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम सचिनंदन गौर हरि की
जय।
श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जी की जय। राधा रमन सरकार की जय। लाल महाराज की जय। हरे नाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। गाय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि Hari
की जय राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे श्याम Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much, all Vaishnavas, for joining us and engaging us in Guru Seva. At this point, we'll be reading Going Beyond Vaikuntha for at least 30 years.
Jai.
Dandavat pranam. See you tomorrow. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.